Hello everybody, and welcome back to Certified Collectibles. This is another episode of First Appearances of the Week. This is Wednesday, August 11th, 2021. We'll be giving you all the first appearances hitting your comic shops today. Now this week we have a pretty big video for you guys. I think we have 8 first appearances, 7 honorable mentions, so 15 titles in all to go through. Quite a few titles this week, so let's go ahead and get started for the first appearances of the week, week ending August 13th, 2021. First up from DC Comics, Batman 89 number 1. Now, these are stories told in the Tim Burton Batman universe from 1989. This features the first appearance of a new Robin and the first appearance of Robin in the Batman 89 universe. Now, this is one we do think you should pick up. The Batman franchise, like we always say, is one of the strongest franchises for DC Comics, and this features the first appearance of a new Robin and the first appearance of Robin in this new universe. So this is one we do think you should add to your collection. Now next up from DC Comics, Future State Gotham number 4. This features the first appearance of Hunter Panic. Now this is a Batman title, and we always say try to pick up the Batman titles that feature first appearances of new characters, but Hunter Panic, we really don't know anything about this particular character or how important they'll be in the future, so this is one you can put on your B list if you can't get all the recommendations today, but otherwise go ahead and pick this one up. If you can't, like I said, put it on your B list. Now next up from IDW, Star Wars High Republic Adventures Monster Temple Peak number 1. This features the first appearance of Ty Yorick. Like we always say, Star Wars titles that feature the first appearance of new characters, these are ones you typically want to add to your collection. For the cover price, you typically can't go wrong. It's only $3 or $4, and if this character works itself into a bigger role in this particular universe, or is included in a feature film or streaming series, this might be a very important book to have in your collection. So go ahead and pick this one up. Next from Dark Horse Comics, The Unbelievable Unteens number 1. This features the first team appearance of the Unbelievable Unteens. Now this one here is part of the Black Hammer universe, and fans do really like this Black Hammer universe, the Black Hammer franchise. The Black Hammer series has been optioned for a streaming show, I believe, or a TV series. So the fact that this is part of that universe, this is one we do think you should pick up. Like I said, if you can't get all the recommendations today, we do have 15 titles. Put this one here on your B list, but put it pretty high. But if you can pick this one up, do so. We do think this one here has promise. Now next up from Marvel Comics, Avengers Tech-On number 1. This features the first team appearance of the Iron Avengers and the debut of high-tech armored suits. This particular book is published by Marvel in partnership with Bandai Namco. The fact that this is a Bandai Namco Marvel collaboration leads us to believe that this is already slated to be an animated series or a TV series, so we do think this is one you definitely want to add to your collection. If Namco is involved on a Marvel title, it also leads us to believe there's probably going to be a toy line associated with this, or TV series, or animated series. So this is one we do think there's going to be crossover marketing. This will probably be a very important book to have in your collection. Pick this one up. Now next up from Marvel Comics, Defenders number 1. This features the first team appearance of a new Defenders roster. Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, Red Harpy, the Masquerader, and Cloud. This also features the first appearance of Taia and the first cameo appearance of Omnimax. This is one you definitely want to add to your collection. In the MCU, the Avengers franchise is over, so Defenders may come up and take that place. This features a lot of characters that are still pretty strong in the MCU. Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, they are bringing over now to the MCU. You got Red Harpy, the Masquerader, and Cloud. This one here sounds like it has a lot of promise. We do think you should pick this one up. Next up from Marvel Comics, Star Wars The High Republic number 8. This features the first appearance of Comac Vetus and the first appearance of Vith Silas. Now, like we always say, Star Wars comics that feature first appearance of new characters, pick these up, and this is a Marvel Star Wars title, so you can't go wrong with this one for the cover price of $3 or $4. We do think this is one you definitely want to add to your collection. And finally, for Marvel Comics, X-Force number 22. This features the first full appearance of Dr. Bloodroot. Now this one here, this is a Marvel title that has a new character or a first appearance of a new character. Like we always say, pick those up if you can, but Dr. Bloodroot, we really don't know how important that character is going to be going forward. This is one you could probably put on your B list for now. Keep an eye on it, but you could pick this one up later. Now for the honorable mentions, from Aftershock Comics, Campisi number 1. Sonny Campisi is a small-time fixer for the mob who gets tasked with handling a dragon who flew into the neighborhood. Aftershock has had some of their titles optioned for TV and film, and this sounds like it might lend itself well to a TV series or a streaming series. So this is one, it's going to be a speculative bet if you want to pick this one up, but like I said, Aftershock Comics have had some titles optioned, so this may be worth the risk. Pick this one up if you can. If not, put it on your B list. This is definitely a speculative bet. Next up from Titan Comics, ELRIC Dreaming City number 1. This is a comic book adaptation of Michael Moorcock's ELRIC novels. Now this one here, we do think you should pick up if you can. If you can't get all the recommendations, then definitely put it on your B-list, but keep an eye on it. Typically when a novel is converted to a comic book adaptation, it draws the attention of Hollywood, so this one here may be option for TV or film now that it has been converted down to comic book form. That being said, this is a speculative bet, so if you're picking this up, pick it up for speculation. Otherwise, put it on your B-list, keep an eye on it. Next up from Heavy Metal, Adventures of Adrian James #1. In a far-off galaxy obsessed with exotic treasures of a million worlds, thousands of treasure-hunting factions vie for the Iradu, rumored to be the source of ultimate power hidden somewhere in the galaxy by the long-lost elders. Now this one here sounds like it has feature film written all over it. This sounds like it would adapt very well to a feature film or a TV series. So this one here is a great speculative bet. It is a speculative bet because if it's not picked up, probably won't be all that important going forward. But this is one we do think you should add if you can. If you can't, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Next up from Scout Comics, Lifeformed #1. Orphaned in the wake of an alien invasion, a young girl must leave behind the life she knew to fight for her own survival and the Earth's future. Now this one here is going to be a great speculative bet. It sounds like it's going to lend itself very well to TV or film, and Scout Comics has had some of their titles option for TV or film, so this would make a great speculative bet. Pick this one up if you can. If not, put it on your B-list and keep an eye on it. Now next up from DC Comics, Hardware Season 1 #1. Now this is the premiere issue of a 6-issue limited series that reintroduces Hardware. Now this one here, you probably put on your B-list. We really don't know how important Hardware is going to be in the DC universe, or if he's going to be driven forward in any other titles, any other series, like Batman, Superman, the two mainstays for DC Comics, or if he's going to be included in any feature films. This is one we think you could probably put on your B-list. Keep an eye on it, address it later. Next up from DC Comics, I Am Batman #0. Now this is the premiere issue featuring Jace Fox's Batman. This is one we definitely think you should add to your collection. This is a Batman title. This is Jace Fox as Batman. And this is a premiere issue of this new series. There's a lot of interest in Jace Fox playing Batman, so this is one we definitely think you should add. And finally from DC Comics, Pennyworth #1. This is the first solo limited series featuring Alfred Pennyworth. This is based on the characters from the Pennyworth TV show, and in this series, Alfred is an MI6 counterintelligence agent in Cold War-era Soviet Russia. Now this one here sounds interesting to us, but we don't know how important this will be going forward. This is a Pennyworth title, so use your best judgment on this. It's worth some consideration, but if you pick it up, it's for a speculative bet. Otherwise, put it on your B-list. You can address it later. So there you have the 15 titles that we have for you guys this week. 8 first appearances and 7 honorable mentions. Please drop some comments in the comment section below. Let us know what you guys think. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. And as always, please remember to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you for joining us here at Certified Collectibles, and we'll see you again next time.